Yo, happy DLC day, Rose Shinobi. Kawaki Uzumaki is finally here. And as always, the new DLC comes with new items in 1010 Shop and a new balance patch. And guess what? They finally addressed some of the game's most broken moves. But the question I have is this enough? In this video, I will follow up on my previous video of what this update needs to be great. With that, I will be covering all the changes inside the patch notes and the secret changes they left out. So make sure you drop a like and hit the sub button and turn on your notifications because we are about to break it down. Alright, bet. Kicking things off, let's start with 1010 Shop. As we discussed in the other video, typically when DLC release, they put items in the shop that relate to the character of the DLC. This time with the Kawaki DLC, they added Delta's outfit into the shop. In addition to that, they also put Delta's face paint and her hairstyle inside the Ninja Hero Festival reward list. What's dope is, we did speculate that a member of Kara would get something added, and look at it now, Delta was the perfect choice. For anyone curious on how to see the rewards for the event or how long items will last inside the shop rotation, here is a website on screen and I will leave the link to it in the description. Alright, now let's dive into the balance patch. Like I mentioned earlier, they addressed some broken moves in the game. And while I think it's a step in the right direction, there's still more to be done regarding balancing that I'd like to see. But we'll get there when we get there. For now, let's start with Vanishing Rasengan and Kamui Lightning Blade. So as you saw in the patch notes, they made both of these moves unguardable. The terminology they used specifically for Vanishing Rasengan is changed from guard breaking to unguardable. So to break that down, a guard break is when someone is blocking and their guard is broken with a shattering effect. Keep in mind that breaking guards doesn't do the full damage of the attack that broke the player's guard. Unguardable is simply the attack will deliver damage regardless of the player is blocking or not. It's key to note this difference because many have asked me what moves counter Susanoo armor from the last Battle Sasuke DLC, and to answer that question one last time, moves that are unguardable like these two moves here, Vanishing Rasengan and Kamui Lightning Blade. I do want to note that they reduce the damage of Kamui Lightning Blade. Remember, in this game you cannot simply buff range types, you gotta nerf them as well. And speaking of nerfing range types, they further reduce the damage on Lightning Net. I alluded to them nerfing range restriction damage moves to some capacity when they gave us the new Rose accessory, but damn, they really do not like range types for some reason. Definitely a nerf that wasn't necessary, but shoot, I'm biased, so let me know what you guys think about this change in the comment section. Alright, let's continue. So here we have a major change. Hazan Strike's damage was reduced, and they increased the downtime when landing this move. Again, this is one of the moves that we touched on in the update video, and in that video I suggested that they remove super armor of this move, so that it took a little bit more brain power when deciding to use this move. Instead, the move is still heavily game assisted, but the payout is a lot less than what it used to be. Hazan Strike is still the defense type's best move though. It's just a little more honest now in the damage it deals. Again, it's not exactly how I would nerf this move, but let me know what you guys think about it. I'm sure you guys are in the camp of any Hazan Strike nerf is welcome. Lastly, this is the main topic I want to talk about because I dropped an entire video on it, sort of. With the Asamanako knives, they reduced the damage dealt by some aerial strong attacks and increased the damage dealt by some aerial strong attacks. Now allow me to rant a little bit before I continue to break this down. In the history of this game, whenever another type, range type specifically, has something that needs to be reworked, they would immediately nerf it. Examples are like Majestic Destroyer Flame's tracking or Flame Lightning being an unguardable move. They do this to bring range types moves down to the level of all the other jutsu to create diversity. Even when they buff a range jutsu, they will nerf it in some other aspect typically. This isn't the case with attack types though. They do everything in their power to avoid nerfing this type for some reason. Instead of nerfing the attack type's good moves like they would with range types, they buff everything else to get it onto that level. Even when they can't get away with buffing something else, when they do decide to nerf something on attack types, they'll typically buff it in some other regard, the opposite of what they do to range types. And they have been constantly doing this with Oboro Guruma and Asuma Knuckle Knives. Instead of just straight nerfing the weapon, they'll increase the damage on it in some other aspect. They did that in the last time they addressed this weapon, and they did it again with this update. But does that actually make Asuma Knuckle Knives less broken? Hell no. I did mention that they needed to nerf the damage, and I think they did a good job for the most part with the amount of damage that it does, but everything else surrounding this move is still intact. So in actuality, nothing really changes at the end of the day. Attack types can still charge with Swift Step and this heavy attack. They still have ridiculous hitboxes, and they also still have this ridiculous startup speed, the fastest in the game. Now that Kawaki is here with his broken ass moveset, it's clear that the game balance has gone out the window for DLC and Moonlight Scroll sales. Lastly, I'll cover the hidden change that we discovered while labbing this update. This change is universal for all knuckle type weapons for the attack type. And yes, it is a buff that indirectly buffs Asuma Knuckle Knives. Like we mentioned in the other video with heal type weapons, they seem to be making the combos connect better by adding a charge attack stagger on attacks in the combo string that had gaps. To close this specific gap in the knuckle combo, they added this stun. I use this combo often for my Shoryuken, but damn, they really be buffing everyone but ranges. Actually, I want to see if they close the gap in the Kusanagi combo, so we tested out the triple light heavy combo string, and nope, they haven't made it viable yet. So maybe as they close all these combo string gaps, they'll get to our precious Kusanagi. And that's everything with this update. Some good, some bad, but overall one of the more underwhelming updates, if I have to say. However, the update is carried by the Kawaki DLC and the shop, because I do enjoy those things. However, I know I won't once I go back to range types. Anyways, let's keep this discussion going. Let me know you guys' thoughts on this update. And make sure to subscribe because tomorrow we are getting into some Kawaki DLC builds and I have some swaggy stuff to show off. So don't miss out on that. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.